Hello, my name is Carlos Moreno. For today, I will be delivering my informative speech towards my audience that is in front of me.
Good evening, my name is Yoshi Gutierrez.
Hi, I'm Warren Moreno.
Hi, I'm Daniel Guerrero.
My informative speech is concurring towards a great important historical figure that helped through the abolishment of slavery and social activism. His name was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia on January 15 of 1929. He was a son of a preacher, and he was soon congregated in the preaching of church. His education involved was in Boston University, Morehouse College, and Crozer Theological Seminary. Throughout his life, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream of aspiring towards the abolishment of slavery and social activism through getting rid of Jim Crow laws. Through the fundamentals of our forefathers and the Constitution pursuing our liberty, freedoms, and our inalienable rights, we have concurred that only through those personal freedoms can we achieve the great United States of America that our forefathers conceived. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a great dream and a great aspiration that one day equality will be amongst us Americans, and we will one day become that great America that we once wanted to be. Minorities throughout America have always held this courage that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had in order to fight and to believe that these dreams that they have will one day soon become reality as well. In the United States of America, minorities really face a hardship of overcoming this adversity. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a great inspiration for us. He was an American clergyman, activist, and prominent leader in the African American civil rights movement. He was involved in boycotts, in riots. He was placed in jail several times in order for the fighting of his dreams and for the pursuit of happiness that he once dreamed of. And despite all of his adversities that he faced throughout the years, he held strong. A great attribute of him that truly inspires me is his nonviolent ways. His nonviolent ways show that you don't need violence in order to solve a problem. One of his greatest quotes, I believe, it states, "We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love." There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. He developed this because he loved his enemies and made them stronger. And through his upright preachings, he developed a sense of nonviolent ways. He believed that through violence you could not accomplish anything in this world. He was involved in many activism, boycotts, and protesting. He was the leader of the first nonviolent African American movement. In December 1955, attempting to overturn Jim Crow's laws, which relegated African Americans from certain inalienable rights that were established in our Constitution, minorities had to sit in the back of the bus. This, for many people, bothered and led towards the riots and the upright of the African American movement. The boycott of buses was inspired by Miss Rosa Parks and lasted 385 days. And on December 21, 1956, the Supreme Court invalidated the segregation of buses. This helps to demonstrate that only through strong efforts can you actually overcome this adversity and prove to the people that minorities do have a word in the United States of America. That we can overcome that adversity, and only through our hardships and through our problems can we actually accomplish that goal that we have acquired as a dream into making it a reality. He was the author of the famous letter from a Birmingham jail. written in 1963, told the preachers to turn their indifference towards the civil rights movement and bring about a change of heart, so they could support his efforts and the efforts of the NAACP. The Negro Association really helped overcome adversity and showed that there was a stronghold of brotherhood in order to uh, 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 overcome this adversity and to fight the Jim Crow laws in order to get the rights that were established in our Constitution, and also to show that they needed equality in this great America, that they are no less of a minority because of their skin color or because of their ethnicity or religion beliefs. Dr. Martin Luther King delivered a great speech. I have a dream. What a quote that is acquired through that is, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by their skin, the color of the skin, but by the content of the character. The character is what matters in this world. The content of our skin is not. Only through the personality and through our strong attributes in this world can we set a foundation for our future generations to show that us minorities can overcome these adversities. And we are not a minority. We are truly just an equality of every other United States of America citizen. Dr. Martin Luther King had many great accomplishments in his life. Days after Dr. King's assassination, the U.S. Congress passed the Civil Rights Act of 1968. Despite that, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and he never really grew to see his dreams come reality. They would one day, through his advocates and predecessors, become and make his dreams a reality. Only through these hardships that such a great leader can actually hold the upright and demonstrate that the minorities can make a difference, that we are equal to any other person, and that we can put forth the work that anybody else can. He was the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 when he was 35 years old. This demonstrated through his hardships and through his recollection of the fighting of the upright and the civil rights movement. He used the money from the prize to further civil rights causes and to help the minorities in order for all of the upcoming hardships that they had throughout the years. Dr. Martin Luther King truly is an inspiration for us all. He has demonstrated courage in order to have for whenever the hardships get throughout our lives, to not give up on our dreams, to overcome this adversity that we have in the United States of America, and to also overcome this adversity that will forever be amongst us. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had great accomplishments in his life, and he has left a legacy throughout all those years. In January 17, he even established his own personal holiday through Ronald Reagan in 1968. Dr. Martin Luther King truly is a historical figure that has made an impact not only for African Americans but all minorities. And through his attributes, I have gained knowledge that not just because I am a minority, my dreams will not become reality. His attributes have demonstrated that only through nonviolent acts and through a strong perseverance and through dealing with problems can you one day aspire to make your dreams into a reality. And that will be my speech for today for Dr. Martin Luther King.